Hello everybody, my name's Steve, I'm the British Railroader. Welcome to the Model Railway Room for a bit of a shows you how, but also a bit of a product review. So about a month or so ago, I picked up an Atlas MP15DC in Union Railroad livery, and I put just a bog standard chip in it just to get it running. But what I wanted to do with this particular loco was to actually fit one of Soundtraxx's new Blunami decoders. So I managed to get this the other day, sold something on eBay, and got the money together to get a Blunami decoder. I've gone for their PNP 8, so that's their plug and play replacement circuit board, because given the fact that it's got quite a low hood on it, there's not as much room as you would have in, say, a Jeep or an SD unit or something similar. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down onto the workbench. I'm going to just run you through how I'm going to install this. Not necessarily a blow-by-blow account, but I'll try and get as much of it in as possible. And then I'm going to put it on the tracks, and I've got the app for Blunami already installed on both my phone and my tablet, and we're going to see what it's like and how easy it is to run it, to reprogram it, etc. So stick with me and we'll have a little look. So let's get down on the workbench and get this thing installed. So here we are down on the workbench, and I've kind of got together everything that I'm going to need. So we have obviously our decoder. We have a speaker. I've gone for an iPhone speaker because of the lack of space. This should sit nicely on top of the decoder. Now, one thing that Soundtraxx do say in the instructions, so this just here is the Bluetooth receiver, and what they do say is that this shouldn't be covered by anything metallic. Now, obviously on this speaker there is a little bit of metal, but you're not going to get away from bits of metal near it. So I'm going to orientate it so this end with the plastic is kind of, covering that. I will be putting some Kapton tape on here just to isolate this bit of metal to make sure it doesn't touch any of the contacts on the actual board. What I've also got here is one of my Lice DCC keeper lives. I've already wired this with Soundtraxx's plug, so that's ready to go. I've got some speaker wire here, some purple speaker wire. I've also got a couple of resistors. So the loco comes pre-fitted with LED lights, but as we'll see in a moment when I take the body off, that the resistors for them I think are on the circuit board that's already in there. So we'll take the body off and have a little look. Okay, so I've taken the body off, and you can see here I've already got a DCC decoder. It's just a little Disassembly one. That is easy enough to come out. That's just an 8-pin. We'll take that out and we'll save that. And what I'm going to need to do is take this circuit board out. Now you've got the lights wired to it. Now these two wires at the back have got little plugs in. That's so that you can take the body off quite easily and then replace it. I'm going to unsolder these from the pads here because I'm going to reuse them. We've also got the various, so these two here are the motor wires, and over here we've got the track wires. Basically, I'm going to remove the circuit board, take all the bits that I need from it. One thing that I have done, so this came with an enclosure just here for a speaker, but I'm not putting the speaker there. And what I've actually done already is cut out some of the plastic so that this can sit nicely in there and not get in the way. So that will be where the current keeper is. I'll probably just secure that either side with a little bit of a tacky black stuff. So I'm going to remove the circuit board and then prepare all the wires, and then we'll get ready to fit the new circuit board. Okay, so what I've done, I took the liberty of pre-preparing some things. So I've taken the circuit board off. That's this thing. That can be just thrown away. It's probably no use to anybody. And I have pre-tinned all of these wires. That just makes life that little bit easier when I'm doing it. And so here's the circuit board. Quite sensibly, they've kind of got a big F for the front. So this is the front of the logo. This should just clip on like so. It's always a little bit tight on the back one, but there we go. So that clips in place. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take these wires, which are obviously the pickups, which will be 1, 2, 3 and 4 just there, and these are the motor wires, which are here and here. I tend to use the top wire goes on this one, the bottom wire I put on that one. So we'll just very quickly get those soldered on. Okay, so that is those 6 wires nicely put into place. We won't worry about their placement just yet for where else they're going to go. I think the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to wire in the head and tail lights. Now, with this, just making sure that we get this the right way around. So this is your V plus and this is your negative. And again, so that will be your V plus and that will be your negative. What I've done is I've wired up these so that the positive is plain and the negative wire is the one that carries the resistor. I just prefer it that way if I can. And then what I will do with these resistors, if I put them this way, they can then bend back on them. So we can then bend back on them so it's not too much of a problem. So we'll get those done. Okay, so that's the lights on. Circuit board, just carefully bend that over. You can see that that one will just clip back into its little holder just there. And the other one is ready to be reconnected inside the body. Okay, so next we have the speaker. I am going to just quickly add the wires to the 2 connection points on the speaker. So let's wire that. Okay, that's the get rid of that bit of rubbish. That's the speakers just wired. So as I said, I want to put this in this kind of orientation, like so. That's where the speaker points are. So what I'm going to do is actually going to run this one underneath the circuit board and bring it up the other side, and then we can wire it there. But as I said, I want to put a bit of Kapton tape just on this, just to make sure that we don't accidentally cause any electrical shorts. Okay, so as you can see here, I put Kapton tape over this. I also put some Kapton tape here because there's a couple of metal points. It's just to make sure that it doesn't cause any problems. So as I said, we're going to thread this through so that I'm just in a place where it's not going to interfere with the motor. I'm just going to get it soldered to these two tabs here. Okay, so that's that bit all done. And then last thing, see, that can be just all adjusted in a minute. But the last thing is to get the keep alive in, which, let's face it, is probably the easiest bit to do. Get that in there. And then that can be tucked in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get everything put all in neatly, and then I'm going to connect it up, put the body back on, make sure that all fits, and then we'll put it up on the track and we'll have a little go and see how this works. Okay, so here we have the locomotive. It's on the track. Now, it's taken me a little bit of work to actually get everything fitted in. And as you can see just here, there's a little bit that's a bit bouncy. I'm going to have to glue that in place to keep it down, but I'll sort that out later. One of the things that I did do was the motor mount, or the circuit board mounts on the motor were quite high. And this meant that the loco kind of got it just wasn't enough room in there. There is very little room in there. It's very, very tight, but it's having a go. So first thing we're going to do is try it on straight DCC and start it up. So I'm just going to switch microphones. So as you can hear, everything starts up fine. We've got a horn, we've got a bell, and she runs but forwards and change direction, and she runs backwards. So that's just on straight DCC. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my tablet out and we're going to try her using the Bluetooth. Okay, so the loco is now set up on my tablet. I haven't done anything with it. I haven't changed anything on it. And that's something that I'm going to need to do separately. But I think the main thing is to make sure it works. So I'll just wave that in front. That is the Blunami app. We're going to ring the bell. That works. I am going to turn on the headlights and they seem to be coming on. I know you can't really see from that angle. So we have the horn working, excellent. And then we are going to just take her forward and slow her down, change direction, and off she goes. Okay, so it works. It's fitted. It's taken a little bit of fiddling and fettling like most things do, but hopefully we should be all good to go. So I'm going to turn her off for the moment and we will have a little chat. Okay, so that's the decoder fitted. It works. That's the first thing. The second thing is that I'm going to have a real play to get used to the interface. It's a little bit not what I'm used to. I'm used to using a controller like this, and using it on the tablet and obviously on the phone as well is going to be interesting and challenging. The problems that I experienced were nothing to do with the decoder. The decoder is exactly the same size as a Soundtraxx Tsunami 2 PNP8. I fitted plenty of those. I think this particular loco it's just very, very small in there. And there is not much room at all. And what I've had to do is the brackets that the circuit board sits on, I literally had to cut them out to lower it down. And what I've done is I've used some of this double-sided foam tape to secure it literally on top of the motor. So there is very little clearance within there. And that's led to that bit popping up at the top, but that's not a problem. That's quite easy to sort out. I like the iPhone speaker. I've never used iPhone speakers before. You're getting some very good sounds coming out of that. And obviously the Keep Alive is working well. At one point when I was testing it, I took it off the track and it just kept going for ages. So, that's as good as they get, like I mentioned in previous video. It's going to take me some time to configure this. So the sounds that you heard were not the sounds that it's going to end up with. I've obviously got to go through and do all the settings, etc. But that's something that's going to take me a little bit of time. But first impressions, certainly by using the app, it's quite easy to use. It will find your loco. I've got to name the loco and renumber it and all of that kind of thing. And I'm going to try and do that using the app. So I will let you know my progress probably next time that I do an update on Brooklyn Park, which, as I said in my last video, is quite overdue. And I do promise that I will get to it as soon as I can. It's just, things have been a bit busy recently. But anyway, there we go. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was useful. I know that there's a lot of people who like to see me doing the step-by-step, putting the decoder in, etc. And I will see you again soon. If you've enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button. And when the bell comes up, press it and click all, and you will be told of all of my new videos as they're released. But that's it from me. My name's Steve. I'm the British Railroader, and I will see you all again soon, probably in my model railway room. Bye-bye.